Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some swatching because it's been a while. So first we have Great Lakes Lacquer. I don't remember when I placed that order. It could have been a few months ago. I also placed an order for Hela Handmade creations back in January. Some of those are going to be that month's releases. Others were in the restock or overstock, whatever those are called. Yeah, I don't remember what those are called. But as you can see, we've got a lot more. I have some Lumen. I've got some Polished for Days, Monarch Lacquer, Sassy Sauce, Rogue Lacquer, some cracked polish. I got 2 orders there, and then Polish Pickup. So I'm definitely not going to get all of this in one video, but I figured we would start here with the Great Lakes Lacquer and January Hela Handmade creation. So I have them all swatched out in one coat. And then I figured we would swatch our second coat and see how they look. First off, before we get too far in, let's go ahead and take a peek at what is on my nails. So on my left hand is Clionadh Cosmetics Flying Buttress. This is a beautiful hollow with some shifts in it. It's like a multi-chrome hollow with flakies. Absolutely gorgeous. And then on my right hand is BCB Lacquer's One Giant Leap for Otter kind. It's from Polish Pickup, May 2024, and it is a magnetic. And I was trying the pearl effect on a couple of the nails, cat eye on my middle finger, and then velvet on a couple other nails. So the velvet is on my pointer and pinky. The pearl is on my ring finger and thumb. But yeah, another gorgeous polish. All right, let's take a peek at some of these from Great Lakes Lacquer. The first one we're going to look at is You Don't Need to Bother. This is a beautiful, rich purple. There's some magenta in here. I'm seeing some micro silver holographic glitter as well. Maybe some micro flakes. Yeah, I actually can't tell if that's micro glitter or micro flake. Could also be a scattering of both, but it is very, very pretty. I like the magenta lean you're seeing there at the edges. So here's our second coat. Definitely opaque in that second coat. I don't really see too many people needing a third. Gorgeous, rich purple. Love the hollow. Now that shimmer that you're seeing does have that fuchsia flare on the edges. I don't know if you can see that purple glow there, but it seems to shift maybe between like a purple, fuchsia, and blue. In other lights, it's got that blue flash to it, and then around the edges you can see the fuchsia, but straight on it's got a beautiful purple glow. Love that one. So that first one was You Don't Need to Bother by Great Lakes Lacquer. Next up is this beauty, another purple, although this one does have sort of a blue lean to it. This is I've Been Here, I've Done It. So this is a blurple. You have purple, fuchsia, and blue. Look at that glow there at the edge of the bottle. You've got this sort of an aqua green at the face of the shift as well. Another gorgeous color. Great Lakes Lacquer is one of those brands that I'm definitely going to be trying to keep better tabs on. This past year and a half, I've definitely bought far less nail polish. But even when I was buying a bunch, I don't feel like Great Lakes Lacquer was one that I was buying consistently. And I definitely like their releases, so I need to be paying better attention to their new and upcoming releases and restocks. So there is a second coat. Yeah, I love that green. And there's these little pink specks throughout. I don't know what those are, but it is really pretty. I don't know if you can see it there on camera or not. It is kind of subtle, but I can definitely see it in person. Mostly on camera, I think you're seeing that green flash in that blurply, purpley blue base. But that is so gorgeous. Maybe at that angle you can start to see those little flecks. If you can see any magenta, that's those little particles I'm talking about. But absolutely stunning. Another one that I think most people would be fine in 2 coats. On my nail length, most of the time I'm finding 2 coats are just fine for a lot of polishes, unless they are a super sheer formula. So that was I've Been Here, I've Done It. Next up I got a blue. This one has some green flashes in it and that little micro hollow flake. This is You Need a Villain, Give Me a Name. beautiful bright blue here. This has one of my favorite types of shifts in it too, because when I'm looking at it straight on in camera, you're seeing green, but from my angle, I'm seeing this like cobalty blue and purple along the edges. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love colors that combine these elements. The blue mainly is like the base, and then you have this purple flash and a darker blue. It is so, so pretty. And then of course those hollow flakes. So here's our second coat. Oh yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous and so, so shifty. Still on camera, I think you're mostly seeing that green. Don't know if I can get it in different lighting because it's mostly just an angle thing. But see that darker blue that you're starting to see right around here? I see that from my angle back where I am much more easily. It is absolutely beautiful. Love the flakes in there as well. And that paste takes on sort of a purpley hue to it, although I do think it is mostly, yeah, mostly a blue, but there's a bit of purple around the edges. And another one that I think I would be wearing in 2 coats. So that was You Need a Villain, Give Me a Name. Next up, I couldn't resist getting this one. This is Lake Superior Shenanigans from Polish Pickup Rewind 2025. This is a bit outside my comfort zone of polishes. I do tend to buy them. I need to get better about actually wearing these white polishes. They have a ton of shifting shimmer in them, which is what always draws me to them. This one has green and pink. There's blue. It's got sort of a yellow cast to it that you can see there when it's away from direct lighting. And these always have so many rainbows in them. And I have similar types of polishes from Ethereal and Bee's Knees Lacquer, probably another one from Great Lakes Lacquer. And I just don't tend to wear them. Lately I have been all about the darker polishes though, and by lately I mean like 2 years, so we'll see. But it is very, very pretty. I love the glow to it. I might have to end up pulling these out and seeing about trying them over maybe some darker colors. But that is opaque in 2 coats. That is definitely not a sheer polish. That's pretty impressive. So that is Lake Superior Shenanigans. And then the last polish from Great Lakes Lacquer is I'm So Damaged Beyond Repair. This one was a must grab from that restock and release. It is this dark blue base full of those hollow flakes. I want to say these are a little bit larger than the ones in the other bottles. And then of course you have this intense red shifting glow in the bottle. Absolutely jaw-dropping. I love all the shifts, and of course the contrast from that blue base to that orange fiery glow is so pretty. Look at that. So here is our second coat. The base is somewhere between a dark navy and a dark teal. There's 2 coats. And again, we have full opacity in just 2. You guys, this glow is incredible. Wow. Love the amount of flakes that you get out as well. But see what I mean? I'm pretty sure they're slightly larger than the ones that we had in these other polishes. And they're denser as well. So this is probably my top pick from this haul. This is I'm So Damaged Beyond Repair. That is fabulous. All right, moving on to Hela Handmade creations for January. The first one is All Mixed Up Lacquer, Granny Like Smut 2. This is another purple. I don't think anyone's surprised that I'm buying more purples because those are still my favorite. This is a flaked polish with reflective glitter. And I think the reflective glitter is purple. Yeah, it's definitely purple. And then you have that fiery contrasting glow. Another of my favorite things to see in polish is a contrast. So here's our second coat. I'm curious if this is going to be a 3-coater because it is more of a squishy base. But there it is in 2 coats. I mean, you get a lot of components there. Wow. No, I think, at least for my nail length, I think I would be fine in 2 coats, but look at the glow. Oh my gosh. That is incredible. Wow. Just wow. That is absolutely incredible. I love the twinkle. Wow. I'm not sure if even half of the sparkle I'm seeing in real life is catching on camera though. It is dazzling in real life. Wow. Very, very pretty. But yeah, I think most people would be fine in 2 coats unless you have really visible nail lines. You can sort of see through it more than you can through that Great Lakes Lacquer. So it is a squishier base, but there's so much on the nail. I'm pretty sure I would wear this in 2 coats. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I might have to put that in my wear sooner rather than later pile. But that was Granny Likes Smut 2 from All Mixed Up. Next up, I got Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is Blow Away Windbag. And this is interesting. The base of this is definitely going to be sheerer. This might be a 3-coater. So the base of this is a teal, and then you have this micro flake in a gold to orange to green shift. The swatches of this looked absolutely amazing. Now this one does seem to be on the sheer side, so I would expect this to be a 3-coater, but we shall see. Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 3-coater. There is 2 coats. Now you can start to see that base color, that teal, come through. But even at just 2 coats, you've got a lot of that shimmer coming through. In fact, that could look really nice over some other colors like what I'm wearing. Beautiful shift. And then let's do a 3rd coat. Oh, yeah, I would say this is still pretty sheer in that 3rd coat. But you get more of that beautiful shimmer. Look at that. Definitely glowy, and there's that beautiful teal base. Now it could work better on my nails. These are like ultra clear swatches obviously, and that's going to amplify the sheerness of polishes. But as you can see, just compared to the jelly squishy base of the one from All Mixed Up Lacquer, this is definitely more on the sheer side, and because we don't have opaque flakes like we do here, it's a bit more obvious that you do have that sheer base. I'm curious to see this over other colors actually, because that might be how I wear it. Maybe over a dark green. But I love that shifting shimmer. There it is. Absolutely gorgeous. So there is 3 coats of Blow Away Windbag by Bee's Knees Lacquer. The last one I got for January was Cuticulah's Metamorphosis. This is a beautiful flaky polish. Again, we're dealing with a purpley base, kind of in the gray leaning side of things. And look at the different flakes we have. We have these, I think they're iridescent, although they are coming off as like multi-chrome because of the darker base. But then you also have these blue ones and then the sparkle of that silver hollow. This is gorgeous. So this is another formulation where I'm curious, whew, big one right there, if this is going to be a 2 or 3 coater. So let's find out. Here's our 2nd coat. And there I think you can see what I mean about that gray base. In fact, I might be completely wrong about the purpley tone because it is coming off more of a gray blue, at least in 2 coats. But I mean, look at all those components. Again, with the glow, I love the contrast. You can see those blue flakes, the hollow. So because this one is so packed full of flakes, I would say this is going to be somewhere between a 2 and 3 coater depending on your nail length and application. For myself, I'm probably fine with this in just the 2 coats, but I am curious if the color will build up in a 3rd. So let's go ahead and try that. So here is a 3rd. And yeah, I think that 3rd coat definitely helps amplify that color. And I think it is a gray. It's weird. I'm definitely sensing purple in it, but I think that's because of the flakes that are in it. That is such a beautiful, interesting polish. I don't think I have anything like this yet. This is beautiful. So in that 3rd coat, you get more of that rich base and then more of those fiery flakies. This is beautiful. Wow. So that is 3 coats of Metamorphosis by Cuticulah. Now we're getting into the polishes that I bought that were on, I keep wanting to say rewind, but that's polish pickup. So whatever it is when HHC, maybe it's overpours, when HHC does their overstock. So this is from Polish, and this one is called the Mysterious, is that Qui or Q or QI? I'm not sure. But this was from September 2025. I had missed that month apparently, because I definitely feel like I would have got this polish. This is absolutely jaw-dropping. It is full of hollow and flakes. The base on this is more on the sheer side, so I think this is going to be a 3-coater, but we will find out. It is just jaw-dropping, absolutely beautiful. So here's coat number 2. And yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a 3-coater. It's much more of a sheer base to allow all of the goodies to shine through. Wow, but look at the glow. That is beautiful. So the base is sort of this lavender gray, and then it is just absolutely jam-packed full of the hollow and those flakes. So beautiful. So this could look beautiful on its own, but I definitely want to try it in 3 coats. As you can see, the visible nail line on these clear swatch sticks is pretty obvious, so we'll see how it goes in a 3rd coat. So here is coat number 3. And yeah, we're definitely getting more of that purpley base. And of course, all of the goodies as well. There we have it. Wow, absolutely jaw-dropping. There are so many fiery components in this haul. It is beautiful. I love the contrast to those softer base colors. So for this one, I want to say I would probably be okay with 3 coats, but as you can see, there is still that squish factor. Some people might need a blurring base coat to maybe help make this more opaque. But I cannot get enough of the hollow mix in here with those flakies. It is jaw-dropping. So there's 3 coats of the Mysterious QI from Polish. Next up, we have Lurid Lacquer. This is If You Talk in My Head One More Time. Also from September 2025, so that must have been the month that they were doing overpours for. This is a very rich grapey purple, full of that silver holographic flake. And there is a shift to it. So you can see that sort of a reddy pink around the edges. That does seem to shift to a magenta. I don't know if you can see that past the orange. There goes. That right there is a bit more of the magenta. But there's the orange. I don't know if you can see that shift between the magenta and orange there at the edge. But very beautiful color. Let's see a 2nd coat. This is a gorgeous royally purple. So there's our 2 coats. This is definitely a 2-coater. 3 if you've got a really prominent nail line, but I think I'm okay with this in 2 coats. Such a juicy color there. Love the flakes. I will say it's not as shifty as I thought it was going to be in person. This is, to be honest, one of those colors where I feel like I'm not sure why I decided to get it. I mean, it's a purple, so obviously it's gorgeous, but I don't just pick up normal purples for the most part. But maybe it's the shifts. Maybe those just require more specialty lighting. But in any case, it's a beautiful formulation. I love those hollow flakes. And it's definitely a good 2-coat formula. So there is If You Talk in My Head One More Time by Lurid Lacquer. And then lastly, from the overpours, I got Cuticula's Flutter in Fall, also from September of last year. This was sort of a no-brainer, even though I haven't really been wearing fall colors lately. I've mostly been wearing really darker shades, like I said, for almost 2 years at this point. I haven't really been doing seasonal nail polishes at all, but this is perfect for fall, and since it was making a comeback, I decided to grab myself a bottle. It is a beautiful orange jelly base, positively loaded with these fall flakies. And I think there's also like maybe a black to red multichrome. I don't know if you can see those darker flecks there. This is how it looks in 1 coat. I think you can see the particles a little bit better there. So you have the iridescent particles, but then see the darker flecks on there? Like little grinds of pepper. Those, I believe, are the black to red multichrome. Either that or just black flakes. I can't quite tell, to be honest. But they are very pretty. So let's go ahead and see a 2nd coat. This is another one where I'm not sure if it's going to require 2 or 3 coats. It is a jelly, so I wouldn't be surprised if it needs a 3rd. But here is our 2nd. And yeah, I think to get the opacity and the richness of color that is in the bottle, I'm probably going to need a third, but there it is in 2. Here it is a bit lighter, although they're on the nail, against the nail. Maybe some nail lengths would be fine in 2 coats. On these clear swatches, the sheerness is more amplified. But I mean, look at that. That's not bad, actually. Love the color. It's sort of got this pinky hue. You can see there on that sheerness. It's got this like a pinky orange. So let's try a third coat. See if we can't richen up the color. Oh yeah. I definitely think, at least on these swatch sticks, it really benefits from that third coat. Look how rich that is now. That is beautiful. Wow. Yeah, that looks exactly like what I'm seeing in the bottle. You have this very rich, fiery, but subdued orange, if that even makes sense. Probably because it has those black flakes in it to add a grounded look to it. But that is very pretty. So there you have 3 coats of Flutter in Fall by Cuticula. And there we have it. I don't think you can even see all of the polishes, but there we have it. That was my little swatch of my Great Lakes Lacquer haul and my HHC haul from January. Let me know which ones were your favorites. I would say mine is definitely this one from Great Lakes Lacquer. That one was I'm So Damaged Beyond Repair. This is absolutely jaw-dropping. I love the contrast between the base and that extremely fiery shimmer. And then I love the one from All Mixed Up that has the purple reflective glitter in it. And then again, contrast. Like, that is a theme with me. I absolutely love it. So that is another favorite. Then I would have to say Cuticula, the first one, Metamorphosis. That's in that gray purpley base with all of those fiery flakes and the blue flakes. And then I have to go with Polish. This one is stunning. The Mysterious QI or Qui. I'm still not sure about that, but I love this combination. This is jaw-dropping. So there we have my favorites. The Great Lakes Lacquer, All Mixed Up, Cuticula, and Polish. Let me know what yours are down below, and if you've bought any interesting polishes or new brands that I should be aware of, let me know down below, and I will see you in that next one.